Welcome my fellow Doombuds. 2024 has been a great year for the MCU, so please subscribe. After a rough 2023 where they did not do all too well in the cinemas and in the box office, with 2 bombs and 1 hit, superhero movies are back, baby. Wolverine the Red Guy made $1 bazillion and became the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time. X-Men 97 was just a freaking hit, Agatha All Along was one of my favorite shows, and they rocked San Diego Comic-Con. In this video we will be ranking the top 5 most exciting moments of 2024. I ranked them by how much they made me woo. So without further ado, number 5, the Red Hulk reveal. Captain America Brave New World looks great in my opinion. I have loved every trailer so far, and I am super excited to see Anthony Mackie's Sam Wilson fully take over the mantle of Captain America. Falcon and the Winter Soldier was enjoyable, but of course had some clunky writing, but I still really enjoyed seeing this version of the Captain on screen. The 4th installment of this amazing series of movies, which is the Captain America franchise, will also be paying off one of the first unofficial MCU villains that was teased in The Incredible Hulk, the Leader, played by Tim Blake Nelson, who we have only caught glimpses of in the trailer, but the best part of the promotional material has been the Red Hulk, played by Harrison Ford. Sadly, this casting happened because of the untimely passing of William Hurt, but still, seeing Harrison Ford play Red Hulk, Theodos Thunderbolt Ross, is just dope. I really like Red Hulk. His transformation looks really imposing, and I cannot wait to see the fight scenes between him and Captain America play out. It'll really be interesting to see how Sam Wilson will hold his own against such a destructive force. It just sounds scary. Imagine just fighting a Red Hulk without superpowers. That would be terrifying. From the trailers to the posters, everything I have seen from the Red Hulk has just been a big W. I specifically love the art pieces where you see the Hulk poster where he's like crushing Captain America's shield. Just looks dope. Like everything I've seen from the Red Hulk has just been a big W, except for the Marvel Legends head sculpt for the Red Hulk, because that doesn't look anything like Harrison Ford. Like after they made that Deadpool and Wolverine Hugh Jackman Marvel Legends head sculpt, Hasbro can do so much better than this. Talking about Deadpool and Wolverine, my number 4 has to be Gambit. Channing Tatum had been wanting to play Gambit for years. Fox even greenlit a Gambit movie back in 2014/15. He even joined all of the X-Men and Fantastic Four cast on stage at 2015 Comic-Con to take a selfie with everybody on stage. Like Stan Lee was even joking with him on stage and everything. So when Fox got bought by Disney, Channing Tatum's solo Gambit project was just lost in the wind. On that stage in 2015, Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman were also present. And in their big crossover, Deadpool and Wolverine, they freaking shined the spotlight on Channing Tatum and made his dreams of portraying the Louisiana mutant on the silver screen come true. Gambit's design is also just classic and ripped straight out of the comic books. From his hairband, weird mask thingamajiggy or whatever that is supposed to be, to his purple and pink muscle suit and that big trench coat he's wearing, I just loved every second of the character. His accent was also just amazing, so Remy LeBeau's MCU debut deserves to be on this list. My number 3 MCU moment of 2024 has to be Mistress Death's reveal in Agatha All Along. I loved Agatha All Along, and my favorite episode has to be episode 7, Death's Hand in Mine, where it is finally revealed that Rio, played by Aubrey Plaza, was actually Mistress Death all along. This just gave the show so much more depth and rewatchability for me. When it was revealed that Rio, the Green Witch, Agatha's ex-lover, was the personification of death itself in the MCU, my mind was blown. Aubrey Plaza already stole the show before the reveal, but afterwards I even appreciated her performance even more. She really delivered as Mistress Death, and I cannot wait to see her reprise her role in future projects. I want to see her interact with Thanos. I want to see her interact with Doctor Doom. I just love Aubrey Plaza's performance as Mistress Death. She was both funny, sexy, and terrifying at the same time. Perfect casting and a great reveal. My number 2 is going to be Wolverine getting his mask. It took 25 years, 25 freaking years to see Hugh Jackman put on his yellow and blue suit. And that's just insane. He's been in 8 freaking movies playing Wolverine and he never wore the freaking costume until Deadpool and Wolverine that came out in 2024. And him putting on the yellow and blue suit was just iconic. I love Deadpool and Wolverine. I watched it in the cinema like 4 times and I enjoyed it every single time I watched it. It was probably the most fun I had in the cinema since Spider-Man No Way Home. And Hugh Jackman didn't phone it in either. He did not miss a beat and he just delivered an amazing and heartfelt performance, and I cannot wait to see him back in my first pick and my number 1 pick, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. The surprise announcement of Robert Downey Jr. being cast as Doctor Doom just blew my mind and I was just nerding the hell out. We are getting not 1 but 2 movies where Doctor Doom will be the main villain. In the Avengers movies? What? Doomsday also is just the sickest title for an Avengers movie. MF Doom has to be featured on the soundtrack for this blockbuster. I know some people are hating this casting and calling it desperate, but I really disagree. Robert Downey Jr. just won an Oscar for Oppenheimer and he won it for playing a villain. I know he played Iron Man, but he made that character famous, not the other way around. Nobody gave a shit about Tony Stark before the MCU made him popular. Like, I love the Iron Man movies, don't get me wrong, but before Robert Downey Jr. gave his spin to him, nobody gave a fuck. I think Robert Downey Jr. is a freaking chameleon. I've been following his career for such a long time. If you want to see a crazy Robert Downey Jr. performance, just watch him in Tropic Thunder, where he plays a blonde Australian actor who is playing a black Vietnam War veteran, and he made that believable. So yeah, I agree with the Russo brothers that Robert Downey Jr. is one of the greatest actors of all time, and I think he's perfect casting for playing Doctor Doom in these 2 specific movies, but only for closing out the MCU. The MCU will be rebooted after Secret Wars, and who better to end the MCU as we know it than Robert Downey Jr. And who better to destroy the universe than the person who freaking built it in the first place. I think that Doomsday will mainly focus on the origin of Doctor Doom. If the Russo brothers can do anything right, it is making a movie from the perspective of a villain. I already made a video where I predict what comic book storylines will be used in these movies, so if you really want to see that, click the video on the screen right now. Once again, I love this casting. Doombot out and have yourself a happy Doomsday.